So I was gonna do this video and somebody decided that he wants to be in it too. So everybody, this is Gibbs. Oh, now you're over it? Cool. Anyways, so I have been thinking, reflecting, really trying to find the right words for how to get this across because I feel like it needs to be said. So for those of you who don't know me that well, my name is Chrissy. I am a mom of 4. I started having my babies when I was 19. My oldest just went off to college, and my second oldest is in his senior year of high school, and my youngest just started 3rd grade. So we've got quite a range of ages at this point, but you know, moral of the story, I've got 4 kids, started really young, and we started having our babies when it was like the 2008-2009 recession stuff started happening. That was when I had just had our second child, and so they're 13 months apart. So they were both in diapers. I was a baby myself, and my husband was working full-time, like overtime every single week, but he was working in a lumber mill. And what happened was he had already done really well for himself, worked his way up into the company a little bit. Minimum wage at the time was like, I don't know, $7.50, maybe it was like $7.25, $7.50 an hour. So he had worked his way up to getting $24 an hour, which at the time was really good. Then the recession stuff hit and they cut out entire shifts. And so he got rolled back into previous positions he had had. So basically, just like that, his income, which was our entire income, was cut in half. So he went from making $24 an hour to making $12 an hour. And then on top of that, they had to start shutting the mill down every other week. So yes, we got unemployment for those weeks that he couldn't work, but for those of you who've ever had to be on unemployment, it's not 100% of what you would have been getting if you had actually been able to go to work. Plus, it didn't account for the fact that he would do overtime anytime that he was going to work. So it was significantly lower. So we had our income slashed in half and then some with 2 babies. And at that point, if you've had, you know, kids or whatever, if you've ever looked at daycare, putting 2 babies in diapers in a daycare is extremely expensive. So even if I had gone and got a job, it wouldn't have even covered the expenses for childcare. So, you know, we're like 20 at best at this point, and we're dealing with this, and none of our friends were going through the same stuff. Like none of our friends also had moved out and had babies and were doing that. Like, so a lot of them were still at home, or they had moved out but they had roommates and they didn't have kids. So we felt so alone and isolated in this position that we were in, and it got really stressful just for our marriage. And I basically felt like I was, he had his part, he was leaving and gone all the time and working, and I was stuck at home with 2 babies trying to pay all the bills with money that wasn't there. And I was just basically on Forbes.com and all the frugal websites and spending every waking moment of my life between trying to take care of these babies and figure out how to make money stretch and how to make more money with the money that I had. So learning how to manage the money and what to do when you don't have money was my full-time job for years. That was everything that I poured my heart and soul into. Every waking minute was research or implementing and trying out all the different things that I was learning just to try to get us through that. It was traumatic and horrible, but I learned so much from it. And honestly, I don't think that we would be where we are today if we weren't forced to learn those things. So while I don't wish that upon anybody, I definitely see the benefits of what we went through. But that said, a lot of the things that I learned gave me the mindset of number one, there's always a way. I don't believe in I can't. I don't believe, oh, I could never afford that. Oh, I can't do that. Like, you just haven't figured out how yet. Just figure out how. If you really want something, then you can figure out how. I mean, my gosh, we had times where we only had like $14 in the bank account and we were supposed to feed a family of 4. And guess what? I figured out how to feed our family of 4, like no assistance. Like I figured out what to do. And I don't know, this I can't, it's too hard. Oh, that's a commitment. Like it actually just like scratches my brain. Like I don't get that mentality. And so I love sharing with people when I find a good deal on something, or when I figure out how to slash a bill, or different things that can help you make your money stretch or make it better. That's my favorite. I love being able to do things or have things without it completely breaking the bank and screwing up your budget. And one of those things is having a side hustle. That said, you want to be careful with your side hustle. You want to make sure that it's actually saving you money or making you money, not like draining your account. And there are some hustly things out there that will wind up costing you money versus saving or making you money. And I'm very careful when I give advice to people. And I'm honest about the fact that not everything is for everybody. Certain things won't fit your lifestyle or who you are, even as a person. There are certain things that I don't want to do, I'm not going to do. I know it doesn't mesh with who I am and what is authentic for me. And so I'm not going to do those things. So that said, with the business opportunity that I've been offering people, it's not just a business opportunity. I'm literally like, you guys are spending money on these products and I can help you just get a huge discount. It's a no pressure thing. It is absolutely, that's a timer going off. It's no pressure. It's one of the few companies that you literally don't have a sales quota every single month. You don't have a sales quota every single month. You literally have to sell $250 or buy. I know people who really like join and then they just do their Christmas shopping once a year. That's it. That's all they do. Christmas shopping once a year gets them that discount and they're set for the whole year. And then throughout that year, if they want to buy some bars, they want to buy a warmer, they want to buy whatever the heck they want, laundry soap, they get a discount. And that's all they use it for. And that is awesome. I love that for them. And I don't push them to do more than that because that's what they want out of it. Right? So that said though, when I say this is a business, all I really mean by that is that it makes me extra money. Okay, so you can treat it like a full-time thing. You can go ahead and dedicate like 8 hours a day if you really want to. I don't. I think that from what I'm hearing, some of you guys think that I am spending hours every single day on my Scentsy business, and I don't have that kind of energy, if we're being honest. Home parties, you guys act like you're worried that I'm going to make you do one. I've been in this for over 10 years, almost 11. I think I just hit 11 years in August. I hate home parties. I don't want to do them. I haven't ever done them. And I probably won't. So you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And you can work it as much or as little as you want. But listen, I made it to the top 2% of the company, and I've never spent a day 8 hours a day. Why? This is something that I want time freedom from, and time freedom is the most important thing to me. Why would I pick something that I am tied to, that I have to spend so many hours a day doing just to see some results? So I started my business. I grew my business from my couch, nursing my third kid. I didn't even have a computer at the time. I didn't have a printer. I had my cell phone. That was really all I had. I had my cell phone. I also hear a lot of you guys, oh, well, I've got a full-time job. I don't have the time. I had 3 kids. I had a part-time job. I was the only one taking care of those kids. My husband was almost never home. I was taking care of the entire house, and I made that happen. Also, now I have a job. Technically, I'm a part-timer, but I get full-time hours. So I have a full-time job, and I'm still doing that thing. And honestly, most of the time, what my work looks like is crafting an email, which, depending on how creative or lazy I want to be, can take me anywhere between 10 minutes and 30 minutes if I really, really want to get fancy. So I create an email and I send that out, like tops once a week. Sometimes it's less than that, right? sending out messages like, hey, how did you like your stuff? Like, it's not that complicated. It's not that much of a commitment. It's not that much work. Like, you can put, so there are times that I put a lot of work into things. For example, my fundraisers, I will spend hours upon hours, days, weeks preparing for them and getting them done. That's not a requirement. That's not something I need to do. And I don't even actually make money right off the bat doing those things. I might gain customers, which then obviously makes me money. But for me, it's a passion project. I'm choosing to do that. I like to do that. It feeds my whole heart and soul to do fundraisers. So for me, it's worth it because it feeds my soul and makes me happy. I feel very accomplished at the end of that when I can say, oh, I got to give them this much and this is what they earned, and then they get to see that success, and then I get to see what they got to use the money on, and I don't know, it makes me really happy. So for me, it's a passion project. It's worth my time and energy, and I definitely pour a lot more into that than I do almost anything the whole rest of the year. Honestly, same with vendor events. I didn't do vendor events for the first 7 years of my business. When I finally got the guts to try one, I found out that I actually love them. I love interacting with the people in that way. I wouldn't want to do it all the time, but I love it for, a weekend. And so for me, the time and energy that I put into that, setting up for a weekend and then going and doing them, it's like an adrenaline rush. I really, really like it. It brings me joy. I wouldn't want to do it all the time. I would burn out if I did. So really it's about, like, where do you want to pour your energy? What do you want out of it? But if you don't want a business, you don't have to have one. You really actually can just get a discount. And I'm really not going to push you into more than what you want, because it's not my job to make you want more. It's my job that when you say, hey, I want this out of it, how can you help me do that? That I help you do that. Okay. So if all you want is to get a discount, it's my job to show you all the ways to do that. That's it. That's it. I'm not going to make you do more. And you're not going to have any big bad consequences if you don't. So right now it's $9 to join. $9. I was so broke when I joined that coming up with $99, I literally skipped out on a bill. I had no other choice. I couldn't save $99 at that point. We were so broke every single paycheck, but I knew I could at least make $99 back. So I skipped a bill and I did that thing. And what was really cool was, after that point, I made at least our truck payment every single month. So at a time in our lives when we could barely even buy a soda pop after we paid the bills, I was able to make enough extra money from my couch to pay our truck bill. And no, that's not making me millions. No, that's not like a replaceable income. If you were to, I couldn't quit a job and make the same amount, right off the bat. But when you're that paycheck to paycheck and you're broke, being able to make a car payment from your couch is life-changing. So that's what I'm trying to give you guys. I'm giving you an opportunity to either at least save money or make a little extra in an economy that kind of sucks a little right now. All right. And there were times where, I would not make that much or whatever, but I would be able to get free product from the bulk parties I was putting in. And so they would sit there for a minute, and then all of a sudden some bill out of nowhere would show up, and it was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to come up with this extra couple $100? Like, I don't know what to do. Oh, I've got this extra stock that just I happened to get because of bulk orders. So I'm going to go ahead and message people and see if I can sell this at its retail price. Totally fair, right? And I was able to sell those things and get the money to pay those bills. Like, there have been so many times that Scentsy has come in and just saved the day in one way or another, and a little extra income here and there doesn't hurt anybody. And all you have to do is make a post or send a message or write an email and just follow up with people, right? You don't even have to have that good of a system. You just have to have some kind of a system, right? Like, it's not that complicated. It's not that big of a commitment. And it's $9. Like, why not? Why not? I know that you wasted more than $9 this week on something. This could actually earn you money back. All right. I love you guys. Sorry, in a mood today, but that's my truth and where I'm at today. So $9. If you want it, I've got it for you, and I will put the link below. If you don't want it, cool.